where I used to live.
Oh, there you go.
So enjoy the cricket, both of you.
Fantastic. The one and only Claire Giblin.
Good evening. Nice to everybody again.
Mr. Road Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to be back.
Mr. Wouldn't dare to wear a robe in this heat, Mark Adams, I should have said.
I couldn't, Paul. It'd kill me off.
Where is it?
And certainly last but by no means least, Mr. Chris Brown.
Good evening.
Okay, so much has happened since we were last on, obviously, at the end of last season, and we wanted to obviously have this show to have a catch-up and, just sort of like touch a few subjects and, go over, really. I just want to start, though, at the top of the show by wishing Lee Carsley and Jay Stansfield in particular a very big congratulations on obviously completing a back-to-back under-21s Euros win for England on Saturday evening. I watched the game myself and thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't sure, obviously, when it went back to 2-2, it was looking like we were a bit tired and fading a bit, but, the Germans sort of got back into it and he made those subs, didn't he? And they made all the difference, didn't they, Mark Meredith? Did you watch the game, mate?
I did, yeah. It's exciting to me.
He got it just right, didn't he, at that time, his substitutions, and in big moments like that, you have to do that, don't you?
100%. He's to be fair to him, he's done a great job. And talking to Lee in the past, obviously, even when he took the senior job, he's very interested in doing the youth and working with the younger ones and developing. So I think that's a really great job for him. And he's proved it over the last 2 Euros now. But to be fair, we're spoilt for talent on that young team, aren't we? We look at it and it's scary to think that most of those players, almost all of them, are playing at the top of their game. Championship, Premier League, and you're spoiled for choice even on the subs. So yeah, I got a little nervous when the Germans come back into it, especially when they beat us in the group stage as well. But to be fair, I thought Elliott had a fantastic tournament, and well-deserved player of the tournament award for him. And we got over the line, and the future's hopefully bright. If we can get rid of our German manager, then be even brighter, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Stano made a difference, didn't he, coming into the team? He just gave us that outlet, didn't he, with his work rate, feeding players off.
He's young and fresh and just loves it, doesn't he? It's amazing. He's come off a really good season. He's obviously buzzing of what he'd done at Blues. And he got his, had to wait a little bit and got his opportunity and just looked fresh and really up for it. And yeah, didn't get a goal, which we really wanted him to see, but did create a lot for everybody else. And it was a massive part of the win at the end of it. And, if the rumours are true about bringing Beadle in as well, then I think we can get ourselves a good goalkeeper after seeing performances in that tournament.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Rob, did you watch it?
I dipped in and out, to be honest, Paul. I didn't see all of it. Like Mark said, I mean, a lot of people last year were saying, Jay's just, he only scores penalties and all the rest of it. But he showed everyone how hard he actually does work. I mean, I think people outside of Blues don't realise, they see his name and they got this image that he just scores penalties and all the rest of it. But he ran his socks off and, he just it does not stop working. And I think he'll bring that into us next season, into the Championship.
Definitely.
It's superb. I mean, like it's just said about Beadle, I mean, I think he'll be a great goalie one day. I really do. I remember 2 seasons ago, he got man of the match up at Hillsborough, and we lost up there, and he was just superb. So, I know he hasn't signed officially yet, but what a great signing. What good competition for also.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. And Claire, did you watch it, under 21s?
I watched nearly every England game. So I've watched some football. Obviously, we've got the women coming up as well, which will be good. What I liked is about Stano is we saw a different side of him. We saw him hold the ball up, which I don't think we've seen. I also think that he's actually played against some really good players, which I think, no offence to League One, but he wasn't really up against, top-notch centre-backs, was he? So actually, he's been surrounded by Premier League players. And the only thing is that I did find that they wouldn't pass to him, or he was slightly off the mark compared to them. So I just think he does, if he's going to play up front, I do think that he needs to just get that little bit of striker's instinct, like Kevin Phillips, or, he had that one opportunity, didn't he, where he could just slide and just go for it. But he didn't. He was just slightly off the pace. But that might be because he has played in League One for a season, but it was good to watch, and I think Beadle is good. I think he's a work in progress as well because of his age. And I mean, if we can get him and Allsop, I think that'd be good for the future as well, because I think he'll learn a lot from Allsop, and he's very good with his feet as well. So
yeah,
it was nice to watch. It was nice to see us win something again, to be honest.
Definitely. Hopefully we'll see him about round Epic very soon anyway. Beadle's about...
Hey, watch out.
Hey.
I'll move on.
You've been practicing that all day.
Watch out.
Yeah.
I've been
waiting for that one since the summer.
I'm going to say I've been waiting to say that. I'm glad we signed him. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, your thoughts, mate? Did you watch the game Saturday night?
I did. And the commentator revealed that Beadle had signed some weeks ago, and they were keeping it secret from the press because they didn't want to put pressure on him. Whether that's true or not, there's so much rubbish comes out of that YouTube, I don't know. But yes, 2 Birmingham players in the side, two Birmingham coaches on the sideline. You can't lose, can you?
No.
We've got Stansfield moaning now. He can't carry all the medals around with him. It was delightful. It was delightful, and you can't do better than beat the Germans in a final, can you?
No.
I mean, it don't matter whether you're playing ping pong. If you're playing the Germans, you got to win, and it was great. I mean, I say that in a very respectful manner, because I thought that German team had some very, very good players in it. The big black guy that they brought on in the semi-final was monstrous, and I thought, well, we could have him. Well, I'm looking at everybody that kicks a ball these days. Well, we could have him. He'll do us. But there was some good players in that opposition, and it was a good win. If you're gonna win a championship, beat the best, and they did. That was great.
Yeah, no, definitely. Craig, did you watch it?
Craig, wake up.
No, I'm on mute again, but I'm not now. I did, and I think to echo what everybody said. I mean, the work rate when we started off the group games and he was playing the false 9, it did concern me. But I think once Carsley had changed it up, brought Stansfield in, his running off the ball was just absolutely phenomenal, and it created the space then for Elliott throughout all of the games, and that's how the goals generally came about. But the one thing for me is you've got a group of youngsters there that now they're the players that should be fighting to be in the first team. They're the ones that should be saying to Tuchel, look what we've done, give us a go. And I don't think they'll all be there, but if you get a fair few in, then we're going to have a strong first team squad as well. And I think that's the key. And then finally, the age range of those. If you go back to the last time we won it, it's a younger team now than it was before. Yeah. So that bodes well for the future as well. So we've just got to be able to nurture those players and give them the opportunities to play the games.
Yeah,
these are the players. If they're not the first team squad, sign them on loan.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't think that team was as strong as the one that won it before, because obviously we didn't have Trafford in goal, we didn't have Cole Palmer, we didn't have Anthony Gordon. Them 3 players there are all seniors now in the squad. And I thought that we'd miss players like that, but now he's gone and got the job done again, and fair play to him. He's doing an absolutely incredible job, obviously, along with Ashley Cole as well. And I've got a comment on Joe Hart as well on co-coms. I think he's fantastic.
Oh, definitely. Do you know what? I rate him. I think he knew exactly what he was talking about. Yeah. He would say it from their point of view, and I think he was great. Joe Hart for any commentary. Yes, please.
Absolutely. I mean, Rio Ferdinand has just left TNT Sports, so they should really be snapping him up to go on there instead of Rio on co-coms on all Champions League and Premier League games, etc. And hopefully we'll see him on there very soon, commentating on us as well.
It's weird though, Paul. To be honest, Paul, though, it's weird, isn't it? Because you got this good vibe around the under-21s, but the seniors, it's so different. It's so sterile and flat at the moment. I mean, I know we lost the friendly the other day, but already there's just a spark not there with the seniors, and I hope we can get it back.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens with that. Obviously, you can judge properly next summer on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Blues, and what a couple of months it's been. I want to start with the sports quarter obviously being all approved for the tram to go in, and obviously some of the sort of plans that we've seen in the video that they put out. I mean, it's just breathtaking, isn't it? And it's just wow. I mean, obviously, I think since we were last on as well, we've had Everton's last game as well at Goodison, and it's sort of got me thinking what it would be like for us at St Andrews, our last game as well. Let's bring that into the conversation as well. I know it's a few years off yet, but it just got you thinking, didn't it, when you saw Everton in their last game? What's it going to be like at St Andrews for us on our last ever game there? Because I don't think there'll be a dry eye in the house, will there? But also there'll be a lot of excitement as well, moving across the way over to the sports quarter as well. And I think, in the next sort of 3 to 4 years, we're going to start seeing a lot of differences, aren't we, Craig, in what's going to happen, etc.
It's going to be phenomenal. And I mean, one thing you can say is it's going to move at pace. And I mean, if you take into account, I saw some pictures the other day of Beckham and the way that his stadium has gone from like literally the foundations, then kind of outer part of the stadium built. Now, if they go at that sort of pace, as I believe they will do here, we're going to see things move really, really quickly. And they've already started, haven't they? I mean, albeit it's only tyres and wheels that have been moved, but they've all gone.
Yeah.
And the other thing is going to be the actual clearing up of the area. Once you start seeing that move, that's when the fans will get a glimpse of what's coming. And I mean, it's just so exciting. I don't think there was one Birmingham City fan that could say that they were not just that little bit excited when that announcement was made, and just how things are progressing is brilliant. And bring on the next phase when we get to help as fans with, the way things work and the way things will look, because that's going to be good as well. There's the promise from Wagner that we will be involved, and Nick Smith reiterated that in presentations that happened in Birmingham as well. So, bring on even more happy days. And let's not forget, some people said it was never going to happen. And those people are now beginning to rue that comment.
I don't think we could possibly ask for a better owner and a better head of infrastructure either, could we? What a guy. I mean, he's just incredible. I mean, Mark Meredith, give us your thoughts, mate, on the whole sort of sports quarter, and also Nick Smith as a head of infrastructure, and obviously Tom Wagner as an owner. And I know it's not all Tom Wagner, by the way. He's got all his, his staff around him that are sort of running us every single day, hasn't he?
Yeah, listen, I'm excited. I really am. I think looking at it, I don't get to go there much anymore myself, obviously living here, but I'm excited for it. There's a little mixed emotion in there because, you get so used to St Andrews and the traditional football stadium. Yeah. You don't want to be something that you move and then it changes the vibe. I don't think it will. I think we can still, have that home territory where we're going, and then obviously it helps the city as well in regards to the different things that will go on at the stadium. So yeah, it's an exciting one. Wagner, both of them really. Again, it's getting bigger and bigger now in the US as well. It's funny because we were talking about the shirt coming out on Thursday, and we're in Vegas this week. We travel tomorrow to Vegas, so the shirt will be out in the Undefeated store in Vegas on Thursday as well. So it'll be the first time we can actually just pick up a shirt, in the middle of Las Vegas, and so that'll be fun. But yeah, the nice thing about it, and I get to see it every day here in the States, is these Americans, they do go in and promise something. They, 9.5 out of 10, it always happens, and it comes out, better than what you expect it to do. So I'm really excited to see the plans move forward. And I think in 4 or 5 years, we could be pretty much in that stadium. And but yeah, emotional last day at St Andrews. That'll be one that I'll definitely need to try and get back for sure. And all those memories. I just remember standing on the cop for the last time. In 94 maybe against Bristol City.
Yes.
And then you think, man, I remember that as a 10-year-old boy, and now in 5 years' time could be moving the whole stadium over. But it's another part of our history, and it's another part of the future. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think a big thing that Tom Wagner said for me was, I think it was on Midlands Today interview that I saw, and he was asked the question, are you going to sort of like make sure that you've got your diehard fans still coming, not going to get priced out of it? And he just said, we'll lose our identity and the singing if that was to happen, and that's not going to happen. And I think, Alan, that's important, isn't it, going into the new stadium? You need your diehard Blues fans that have been going for years and years and years, and we don't want it to be, taken over by supporters that obviously haven't probably never been before. Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more. And my opinion on the way they treat people who've been going there for 50 years. This is the chance to put that right, because we can sell 50,000 season tickets, and there'll be people that are doing it for the first time, and people like me been going to St Andrews for, it'll be 70 years by the time the new one opens, and I'm really looking forward to it. People say, "Oh, you'll be sad leaving," and I've got to say no, I'm not really, because I've been going there so long, and I now expect better. My favourite saying, I still pee in a trough. Well, that's true, but that's because I choose to sit in the cheapest place. To be fair, and I know you guys will sit round the new part of the ground, which has all been spruced up, and I'm although I don't use it myself, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that people can do that kind of thing, and I am determined to have at least one day with the family where I hire, I pay for them for a meal and go to them. I desperately want to do that before it goes, and I already started looking, and there's some reasonable price offers, but I'm thinking to myself, how many more like me want to do that? It'd be very difficult. I mean, my son or my daughter who come with me occasionally, they won't be able to get in the next 5 years probably. But as soon as it opens, bam, we can all be there together, and it'll be super.
Yeah.
I mean, I take this point about people saying, "Oh, yeah, talk." It was actually in a speech the Chancellor mentioned the development that they were going to pay for in the West Midlands, and they didn't actually mention the football ground, but she mentioned that there was going to be an underground railway from Solihull into town. So whichever way you come in, you can get to the ground, and they were putting money into that. The government don't commit themselves to things that aren't going to happen, other than the HS2, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? If they can't afford to say, "Oh well, things have changed, we can't do it," they'd be pilloried, they'd be hung.
Yeah.
So that was very comforting, and I've heard Tom Wagner speak about it, and I've got over me Wayne Rooney now. I've forgiven them, because to be fair, I don't want to talk about that, but you know what I mean. I mean, I almost forgive them 95% when they signed Stansfield, because everybody say, "No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen." Bang, and there he was. Yeah. And it lifted me so much. I'm thinking, well, fair play to you. You may have made a cock up there, but this. Now I know you mean business. And from that, I mean, the great players just kept pouring through the door then.
I think that mistake, to be honest, has given Tom Wagner and obviously everyone else on the board an extra spring in their step to make sure they do put it right. And obviously the relegation as well. When you talk longer term, it's probably the best thing to happen to the club, to have a reset and come back. And now obviously we're world record holders on 111 points, and probably the best team that will ever play in League One. And now let's take that momentum into the Championship and, get our recruitment as well as we did a year ago and kick on. And it's just so exciting. And, it's a good segue there to the amount of season tickets that we've sold. I mean, 20,000. I never thought I'd see the day where people can't get a season ticket. Do you know what I mean? It's just...
and 10,000 on the waiting list now.
More than that now, I think.
The crazy thing is, I know it didn't feel like it a year ago, but the relegation is probably the best thing that ever happened to us. Yeah. In the time of where we were struggling so much for the last 6-7 years, even probably 8 to 10 years of just struggle, no backing. And it probably happened at the wrong time when Wagner first came in, because we thought, oh, here we go. But man, the way to turn things around has just been amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I honestly don't think, and touch wood, I don't think we see that league again.
No, I hope not.
Never.
So we hope we definitely pray and hope not, but I don't see it either.
No,
but I hope I'm right with it.
No, but we need to understand that it is a big step up this season from that league. And we've got to make sure we get it spot on the recruitment of the players that we sign. You know, they've got to be of a certain caliber, because the ambition this season now will be to try and go up again. You know, so I think we do need, like, you know, obviously wingers and, you know, forward. I think in the forward areas is where we need it the most, and, you know, maybe one or two strengthening in other areas as well. But no, I think overall though they have got the makings of a team that can compete at the top end. Just needs tweaking up a little bit, doesn't it, in a few areas, Claire?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting actually to see who we've been linked to. I mean, we seem to be linked to everyone that Wrexham are linked to as well. But I like the fact that hopefully Damari Gray might be coming back. I mean, I remember him and you know, the Redmond years and all that. So it's nice to have also like a proper Blues fan to come back in. I mean, some of the Japanese guys we're after. I mean, if we get some of them, I think we're talking serious business here. What I like is obviously, you know, we have to talk about the Poku deal. Is he's decided to go to QPR? That's fine. If that's where he decides to go, that's it. It's done, dusted. He was never our player anyway. So, and if someone doesn't want to come and play for us or wants to hold us to ransom, we've got other options anyway. So I just think that what I like is that, yes, there's like some leaks, but I think that they're not overly leaked. It's not like we know exactly when it's coming. Obviously we all want a player to sign, we all want a signing at some point. I think he'll make quite a few before Portugal next week. But I think we've got to make sure that we get the right deal for the football club as well. We don't want to be held to ransom. People know we've got money. I just think that you don't want players on too high wages. We've done that before.
Yeah.
Being on too high, and then it's, you know, the squad, it's really like harm the squad. So to be fair, do I trust what Davis and Gardner think? Yeah, I do actually. And I think, you know, this year there hasn't been really anybody that stand out going, oh, you know, we need to definitely get rid of him. But I do think that some of the players we are after, a lot of them have played Premier League, Champions League. So the only way's up, but hopefully Laird can still play even if this bloke comes from Fenerbahce. But there we go.
It's certainly an exciting time, and what you just said there, Claire, I think Damari Gray coming back, he'll have the shock of his life when he runs out if he runs out on the pitch for us again, because the crowds compared to when he played for us before, you know, you think back to them days when he played for us before with the crowds. What was it? Set between 17 and 22,000, something like that, around then.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And now you can't get a seat. You know, now you can't get a seat in the ground, so it's just fantastic, and it really is, and something that we should be really proud of, to be honest. You know, what they've done with this club in like 2 years now, getting on, is just phenomenal. It really is.
Let's not forget as well, in less than 4 hours, we sold out the first game of the season.
Yeah.
You know, that's a sign of things to come, that is. And it is remarkable, really, to think, you know, 20,000 season ticket holders, which I think it is still lower than we were when we were in the Premier League. Yeah. But then I do take into account that we have had a reduction in the numbers of seats that are actually in the stadium and available for general public to buy. So, you know, if you were to do it on a percentage term, it's probably in comparison to the two when you do the two seasons together. But it was just weird to see, yes, they're up for sale, see so many people that were jovial over the fact that they got the tickets. You know, people before were like, you can have my ticket back, I don't want it anymore. Now they're crying out for it because they want one. So yeah, you know, well done to everybody at the club. Once the TV glitches were over, they did fantastic at getting that sorted as well. Gotta say, couldn't have been any easier to renew a season ticket than it has been this year. So credit to those people involved, and again, new people in there, so they're only going to get better, you know. And as the lady from the ticket office, Zainab, said the other day, they're trying their absolute hardest to make sure that service that everybody gets is amazing, and I really believe that they'll turn another corner with that.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Paul. It does kind of feel like the first season in the Prem again, doesn't it? they're not being able to get a ticket and all the rest of it.
Well, what was the most we could sell back then? Was it a
22, wasn't it?
We had just shy of 22 before.
I was going to say 22 back then, wasn't it?
I remember obviously that there was a huge demand back then in that first season. But when you look back at some Premier League games after we've been in it a few times, it
did wear off the novelty, didn't it?
Yeah.
Even to be honest, Paul, I remember even the Villa games didn't sell out completely. That was crazy, really.
Yeah.
But well, one exciting time.
I think the main thing that the club will be impressed with is we can sell out Saturday games. It will be the midweek games.
Midweek ones, yeah.
Because to me now there shouldn't be any game that we don't sell out. If you've got 12,000 on the waiting list, then to me you've got a full ground every week, surely. So I think it's about the thing is people work and people have other commitments, but it's trying to get it down, being priced correctly, making sure the offers are still kind of there if they're struggling with it, and I can't believe that the Ipswich tickets were out. I mean, my dad was shocked that we'd sold out, because when have we ever done it where it's not like a week before and all of a sudden the Ipswich tickets were out? So I think the main thing for the club is how do we get people, which I think is across the board, they're midweek, because I think the midweek ones are the hardest ones to try and get people to go to. But to me, if you've got 12,000 waiting, hopefully it can make a difference.
Well, I've had a dilemma for the Ipswich game. I've given up on a free bar for the first game.
I'm just glad I'm back, Paul, to be honest.
Yeah. It's our works conference, and leave early and miss the evening and get back for the games, because I don't want to miss the first game. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to miss any game, to be honest. Yeah. So I can't wait for the season to start. Anyway, it's certainly not the same without it, is it?
No.
I was going to say, people who, like Claire said, people who miss out on the Ipswich game, unfortunately, make the effort to go to the Sheffield one. The cup game. There's things like that. People have got to sort of make a big effort now, because it might come in handy next year.
I thought that was a bit boring, though, the Sheffield. I wish it was somewhere random that we haven't been before, but two tough games to start with.
There aren't many grounds left that we haven't been to.
Automatic. So...
Yeah. Moving on to a bit of housekeeping, I want to obviously say congratulations to friend of the show, Lucas Djukovic, on his new role, coming back to the club as first team positional lead scout is his new job title. So anyone delve into that a bit more? Tell us exactly what he's going to be doing.
Yeah. Basically scouting players and helping Gardner out, really. Part of the scouting network.
So the word positional then, is he scouting just for attacking players?
I can't tell you that because he hasn't told me, but I'm guessing that there'll be certain positions that we'll need. I'm guessing striker will be one of them. Probably more attacking players, I reckon. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. And then obviously welcome to the Blues as well, our new chief commercial officer, Mr. Stephen Haynes. So comes with a really good background in growing businesses and making profit as well. So I think he worked for, was it Meta? what was formerly known as Facebook?
Facebook, Yahoo.
16 years there. So again, another genius addition to the team off the field as well, no doubt.
Incredible.
So they're just getting the best in class of everyone, aren't they?
They're pulling in some incredible people. Absolutely.
They're not holding back. I mean, the one thing you can say is Wagner always said to be the best, you've got to bring in the best. And he's sticking to that. He's no well and truly. Now it's around the player recruitment, because I just don't believe we'll hold back in that area either. And I'm fed up of hearing this. Birmingham City are going to go and do this. Birmingham City are going to do that. It's lovely to be linked with every player, but you know what? I just want people that are going to come, put on the shirt and play for it. It's simple as that. Don't have to be world beaters. Just show us that you care, because if you don't, and when the fans will turn on you, you'd know about it. However, let's wait and see, So something tells me this week is going to be busy, and I don't, we've seen the shirt released today. I don't think it's going to get any quieter. If anything, it's going to get busier as this week goes by.
I think now you mentioned the shirt. let's give everyone watching as well on the shout box, give me your rating out of 10 on the new home shirt, please. So I'll start us off with a 8. I quite like it. So it's not the best shirt we've ever had, but I do really like it. I think it looks really smart. I might actually go out with it in a nice pair of jeans, you know. But anyway, Claire.
I was a bit dubious when I first saw it, but it's really grown on me. I like the fact it's got like 1875 to 2025. I like the little parts. I like the fact that it's got a bit of gold trim here and there. I'd give it a solid 8.5 because do you know what? As long as it's got a Birmingham City badge and the players are wearing that shirt with pride, I don't care. They could wear a bin bag. As long as it's blue. As long as it's blue. I wish there was a little bit more white on it. That'd be my only downfall because we are the boys in blue and white. But we're the boys in royal blue as well. So I think you can't be that is royal blue. And I think sometimes we do deteriorate from the royal blue. So solid 8.5.
I thought they might, for the 150th anniversary, I thought they might have put like a petition out for, you know, what style of shirt, maybe get the fans involved.
There might be more to come.
Yeah, I know.
Hold your breath.
I think for the 150th anniversary, though, we probably should have gone for a penguin as the home shirt, but that's just my personal choice. I don't know if anyone's agree. You know, many agree with me, but
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I personally would have chose.
Yeah,
I think it just looks classy. It's blue.
Yeah,
it's gold because of the 150. I just think it's to the point. And I think it's just one of those shirts that isn't copying anything else. We've got a lot of retro shirts going on. That's it. It doesn't look like any other shirt we've had.
Yeah.
It's to the point.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to see what colour the numbers are.
Yeah.
They'll be gold. They'll be gold as well.
They're gold. Then I think we've got and I do get the Leicester connection and the Ipswich connection and all of that, but it's, you know, we're going to have loads of stuff coming out in the shop. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
Of merchandise, I think there'll be a special shirt as well for when the anniversary really is.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on a few of those things for sure.
What's your rating out of 10, Mark Meredith, on the home shirt?
I'm about an 8 with you as well.
Yeah.
And I'm the same as Claire. When I first seen it, I was like, I'm not sure. But then I've seen it again and seeing the players in it now on the photos, it looks a little bit better. I'd like to see it now in person for sure.
No, Clara's put it on and he's modelling it. I'm not going to argue.
I've got a bat just in case anyone doesn't like it.
I'll give it 4 or something. I might bump into him one day. You never know, do you? But anyway, Chris, give us yours, mate.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go for around about the 7. I'm sorry. I understand the connection with the anniversary and the 150th, but gold? No, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe a penguin. Maybe but maybe an inverted penguin with like, blue in the middle or something. I don't know. But no, I'm not that keen. But I've never got excited over a shirt. I'm sorry.
No,
it's a football. As long as it's got the badge on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Rob, what's your rating out of 10?
I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a 9 if someone buys it for me.
Use that 20 quid you found in somebody's
pocket.
Yeah. I can't complain.
That'll pay for your name.
No, I'll give it an 8. I do like it. Same when I've had a second and third glance at it, I really like it.
I think I prefer last season's.
I've got to admit, I don't think I like the colour, but I'm glad the colour's not white because for a woman who wears makeup,
it would have
been a nightmare. So thank you, Blues, for not having a white collar because I've had to put a top on, then put a top on over the top. So I don't get makeup on it. It's a nightmare for women. So thank you, Blues, for going blue.
It's also a nightmare when you eat blackcurrant ice rolls as well, Claire.
Yeah, and have a drink. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, Meredith, you need me in makeup. I'm leaving this house without it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, Claire. That really, that really lifts me.
Well, Al, give us your rating, mate.
Yes, I do like it actually, and I will say, and you might not like this, I hate shirts that have got too much white on. Never liked the penguin. Last year's was ick. If you go back to when we had the white sleeves, that was awful. But this is blue. We are the Blues, and I'm assuming we're going to have blue shorts as well, and it's going to look really classy.
Yeah.
I think last year's shirt was a bit of a gimmick, to be fair, to show the sponsors' lines and show them up, which I can understand. But it'll also mean that we won't have to change shirts of teams that play with white. You know, you can't play in that. You can't play in your shirt against a team that plays in white because you've got white on, so you're going to change. Now that won't have to happen. I think the changing of shirts is one of the things that also annoys me. Why are we doing that? You know, why did we play Burton Albion in white? You know, what was the sense in that?
Yeah.
And there'll be hopefully there'll be less of that. But of course, they'll bring 2 more shirts out, and the first thing they'll do is play them wherever they are.
We've come a long way since we had to play Crystal Palace in their away shirt on their own ground.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, Craig.
I'm going to go for a 8.5. In fact, no, I'm going to stretch it to a 9 because for seasons now we've been crying out for just a blue kit, and the fact that we've got the shirt, the shorts, and the socks all in blue, and I know what people are saying about the gold. There's not a lot really.
No.
The gold's just replacing the white in the badge. You know, the rest of it is just trim as it will be. And the collar, well, as an owner of an England shirt, I've worn a collar for the past couple of seasons, you know, and it's the same collar really that's from the picture that's going to be there. So that doesn't put me off, but I think it's great. I said it earlier. Birmingham City is a football club that's about no frills, and that top is no frills. It's what we've been asking for. So I'm glad they've gone down this particular route. I do agree. I'd have liked to have seen a little bit of white, maybe just on the collar, you know, on the sleeves, just something. But it doesn't put me off, and I can't wait now.
No, absolutely, yeah. Okay, so that covers the shirt. I want to wish the best as well to the players that have left the club, obviously since the end of last season as well. The likes of Brandon Keeler has gone to Peterborough. Yeah, thought he looked a decent player, to be honest, when he came in, you know, when he played. But like I said before, you know, it's going to get harder and harder now, isn't it, for academy players to get into our first team, Claire? What do you think?
Yeah, I think because we've now got the pulling power and we've got some money, I think we'll sign a lot more players. We're not depending on them. I do think there'll be a couple. Is it Bateka?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's obviously someone that Davis likes. I think they've got to be really good. They've got to be a good calibre to come out. But that's the point of your academy, is you bring players through. They're not going to make your squad. You sell them on for a bit of money.
Yeah.
I mean, like Donovan, we've sold him for a bit of money, and I would probably expect quite a high clause in that for sell-on clause and things like that. Like George Hall, there's rumours that he's going as well. But again, he's quite injury-prone, and when we've needed them, they've stepped up, and thank you for that. But I just think we're in a different era now where if you look at the top teams, they bring in players, but they have a lot on loan, and then if they then do well, then they come back.
Yeah.
You know, like Liverpool and Man City and all them, they let their youngsters go out on loan. So I think Martin O'Connor does that, doesn't he? All the loans and things. I think get them all out on loan, get them, you know, we've got a category 1 now. So hopefully we can start actually investing more from them, because I think Keller would have gone for a little bit. Obviously Donovan rumoured 5 million, was it, or something like that? So I think it's going to be difficult, but it would be nice to see some of them play and have them in the squad. But I think we'll see them more in cup games, to be honest.
You're going to have to be a top player now, ain't you, to get in the 11, like, you know, as an academy product. But just coming briefly back onto the shirt, a very hungry Fiji lad, Mr. Meredith, Josh Pears, has said 10 out of 10 for the shirt. I don't know if that's because he's hungry. He's give it a 10. I don't know.
He's eating me out of house and home here.
James Brown has given it a 7 out of 10. Rory Jones 10. Dave Twine 4. Okay, so Dave's not keen on it. 6.5 out of 10 for Pete Taylor. 7 out of 10 for Steve Kimberley. Chris Ware 8. Too dubious about the collar. Okay, that's fair enough. I think people are going to probably give it more than that maybe after they put it on. Once they come on, it'll probably go
We've
up to
got
10.
8s, 6s, and a 2 on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay. A lot of some people are quite disappointed then as well. So
it's nice. It's out early as well. Do you remember that one time where it wasn't even out before the season started?
Yeah, season started.
And we started the season, and we had, we were all in the old kit.
Yeah.
So I love the fact it's out first week of July. Well done, Blues. Excellent. Right in time for my birthday, Mum. Thanks. Can't wait for you to buy it for me.
But yeah, no, coming back on
just going on, when you mentioned the new staff, did we I might have missed it, but did we mention the new head groundsman as well? They brought in the guy from Leicester, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What's happened to Martin then? Has Martin left?
Well, I don't know. That's what I was trying to think about Martin. But to be fair to this one, this is the guy that won all the Premier League awards the year Leicester won the Premier League. Because he does all that. Yeah,
all the drawings on the grass.
Yeah, he put the drawing on the grass and stuff. That's him that's come over to Blue, so we'll see. Might have a picture.
It does look amazing.
Not allowed to do it anymore.
Might have a picture of
You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do them anymore, are you, the pictures?
I thought I was going to do a picture of Courtney in the halfway line for the first game of the season.
So yeah, but next to Tom. They're not allowed to do it because, maybe different for our league, but in the Premier League, the reason why they can't do these jazzy pitches anymore is actually because of VAR. So it can't read the different things.
Oh yeah.
So it's unlikely that you'll see anything too jazzy. But then I've got to say, him coming to us and then watching the ladies' game at Leicester yesterday. Oh my God, the pitch was terrible.
Yeah,
and I know it's out of season, but my God, like a patchwork quilt that was. So if that's anything to go by, and him coming to us, it's only a good thing if they've lost their groundsman and then it ends up like that, and we're going to end up benefiting.
Yeah,
I'm not sure Martin's left though, because you would have thought if he had, they'd said something after like 20 years of service, wouldn't you? Maybe he's still working alongside him, which again would be a good thing.
Yeah. Have I missed anyone, by the way, on players that have departed? Just coming back onto that, I can only think of Brandon Keeler off the top of my head. That's actually officially left. I think
Yokohama.
I think
Yokohama, yeah. Ben Davis gone back, hasn't he?
Yeah, obviously the loan players left at the end of that season, but I'm talking about players that we've actually
permanent.
Yeah. Since the last show, basically.
Yokoyama's gone, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, other one, yeah.
But that's no shock though for me. I think we've probably made a hefty amount of money on him because he had that was the FA Cup game where he had a great game, and he was also the League Cup as well. Not League Cup, sorry, the
first two.
The one we didn't win. We're not going to mention it anymore. But he had a good game in there, but didn't really show too much more. And I think perhaps he may have been just a step too far. But again, though, youngster who didn't hit the ground running, didn't set it on fire. So Chrissy Davies obviously sees something in some players and not others, and then it's those ones that aren't there that if we can move on, make a bit of money to bring somebody else in, we're going to do it all the time.
Yeah.
To be honest, Craig, I think we're going to sacrifice probably one or two of the ones who were in the first team last year who did well. I think
there'll be some shocks.
Yeah.
I think before the window's closed, we'll see some people go that we're not expecting.
Yeah.
That's because we're going to be playing at a much higher level.
Yeah, they've done well for us. But
when you go from the Championship to the Premier League, you need a different calibre of player to compete at the level, and it's the same going from League One to the Championship.
Yeah,
the gap between League One and the Championship is probably as big as the Championship and the Premier League, isn't it?
But the difference is the calibre of player we brought in last season, when you look at the vast majority of what was there, was Championship quality.
Yeah.
Albeit probably, for some of them, bottom end of the Championship, but it was Championship quality. So there are others now that have got to prove their worth, and that's why there's a window. At the end of the day, it's there to go, you are boss, you can't drop me. Look what I've done over the summer. Look how I've come back. I'm completely different. Give me a go. Show your worth and see what happens. And remember, we've got a bigger squad this season now to be picking from as well. So it's not just a few places on the bench, but there's three more I think we can name this season now on the bench.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. No, I think we'll be ready to go by that first game. We're going to look you know, I think we'll be very impressive on that. That first 11 that starts that first game will be strong. I mean, it's strong. It's strong if we put a team out now, but I'm just saying it'll be even better. You know, so
we won't know who these shock leavers are going to be until we get an idea of who's coming in. No. And bring two. I mean, it's gone very quiet on the lads and Rangers. Obviously, we're trying to get Davies, but the other one hasn't been talked about. No. Now, and if you look at the players that we are linked with, if we got him, he would be the last. He wouldn't get a game, would he? No. So, and you know, I think there are people who are under a bit of pressure. Probably Williamson, and Bealey, to be honest, because if we get four top line centre halves, what are we going to do with him? We're going to play him in midfield, or he might as well go and, you know, play where he wants to. Somewhere else. Oops.
Yeah.
Talking about players in the past that, you know, youngsters that come through that haven't, you know, we don't have at the moment we don't have the youngsters to break into that first team squad because the first team squad's so good. You remember? I remember a lad called Boyd Muntz. You remember?
Oh yeah, Callum Muntz. Yeah.
Well, he's been playing. A friend of mine told me this is a Mirren supporter. He's been playing there for the last 3 seasons, and he's a regular in the team. He's a Northern Ireland international. He played in Europe last season, and they think highly of him. And he's left St Mirren to go to Boreham Wood for more money.
Wow!
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That shows the state of Scottish football, doesn't it?
Does?
Yeah.
High standard.
Yeah. No, definitely. Now everyone knows how much I like my little games, and I couldn't have a show, a summer special, without a little game, could I? So I want to know. I'm going to name a few memorable Blues goals, okay? And I want to know who assisted them. Okay, so this goes out to everyone watching, everyone here. Maybe should we give like everyone watching 5 minutes to answer first?
We'll give them 5 minutes. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about 3 memorable Blues goals. So the first one is the first leg of the 2002 playoffs against Millwall at home. Brian Hughes scored a lovely volley, didn't he? It was dinked over the top to him, and Brian Hughes right-footed it into the bottom corner. But who dinked it over the top for him?
Oh, right, okay.
There you look like you don't know.
What year was that?
I can remember the pass. I just can't put a face onto the bloke that was doing it.
Lovely little first-time dink over the top.
Yeah.
Great goal, but great assist as well.
Wow. I guess that's probably good memories for that.
Let's see if anyone gets that on the chat. Should we do that? Should I do the next one?
Yeah, could do the next one. Yep. Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
The next one, I want us to take, those of us that are old enough to remember, I want us to take our minds back to 1991 and the Leyland Daft Cup semi-final at Brentford away.
Oh, go on.
When Simon Sturridge had his back to goal, it was headed down to him and he had his back to goal.
I know that one.
I know that one.
He span and hit it on the half volley, didn't he, into the roof of the net? And I want to know who headed it down for him.
Yeah, I do know that.
Graham Haynes, congratulations to Graham Haynes. He's got the assist there. I don't know if he's going to watch it on YouTube in the meantime, but
Granger.
But yeah, well done, Graham. It is Martin Granger that dinked the ball over the top. Did anyone know that here?
No.
I did.
No.
You knew that, yeah?
Now you told me, yeah.
I remember the little thing at the area,
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone know the Simon Sturridge one? Who assisted that? Who headed it down for him to sort of sit on the volley?
Trevor Aylott.
It was Trevor Aylott. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
No one got that on any of the chats, did they?
No one's got that. No.
Okay.
Can I tell you a little story about Trevor Aylott?
Go on then.
At the shareholders meeting, Dave Mackay was sitting there and somebody was questioning the signing of this bloke, and he said, Dave Mackay said, "Let me tell you, he's the best hold-up man in the division." And some bloke says, "I know we're broke. Are we going to rob a bloody bank?"
Brilliant. And then the last goal.
I knew what was coming then.
The last goal is more recent. Okay, it was certainly a contender for goal of the season. It didn't win it. Obviously, nothing was going to beat Iwata, but I would say it was the second best goal in my opinion, and that was Keshi Anderson away at Huddersfield last season when he chested and volleyed it. Who assisted that? Which Blues player had the last touch before it got to Keshi Anderson?
This would be a guess because he was in that area most of the game, and I'd say Taylor.
Yeah, was it Taylor Gardner Hickman or Dal?
Yeah,
it was Taylor Gardner Hickman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was who assisted what Blues goal. There you go. That was my little summer game. What did we think?
Good game, that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. We'll do it again at some point next season.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Hopefully, got loads of assists.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to think of a snappy title for it.
Yeah.
That's what pre-season's about, isn't it?
Give
Try and think of that.
Yeah, give us some names. Give us some names for that game. Give us a name for the game.
A sister act.
Where'd you get them from?
Oh, what about We Hate Robe? Can we just call it We Hate Robe? Because that'd be brilliant to come on the show every week and everybody say.
Well, pre-season's all about opinions, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think
Stole 20 quid.
yeah, but no. Obviously, we haven't talked about the fixtures yet and the fact that we got Ipswich at home. Do we think that was a genuine random computer draw?
No. I predicted it. I said we will have a home game on a Friday night against one of the relegated teams. And spot on. Because they always do it. And Wrexham have got one. They're going to play Southampton, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise.
Do that every year with those three promotions and 3 relegations.
Yeah. I think we're at home on Boxing Day, aren't we, as well, to Derby?
Derby, yeah.
Portsmouth away last game of the season is fab.
I've already booked.
Can't wait for that one.
Is
I've already booked a weekend on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah. Is everyone like me? When you see the fixtures, the first thing you look at is the first game. Then you look at Boxing Day, and then you look around your birthday.
Your birthday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I only have pre-season around my birthday.
Right. Yeah.
Are you going to Portugal, Claire?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't wait to watch Sevilla play. Hopefully we'll see some signings, to be honest. I want to see some. And if Laird's there, then there we go.
Can we bring
appreciate.
Can we bring up Damari Gray? Yes or no?
What's his name?
Yes or no, Damari Gray? Come in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% for me. Yeah, I think it's a very good signing. Yeah, I think he'll do well for us.
Yeah.
That was a bit close to the mark. That is clear. I can't wait to watch Sevilla play. It's very close. That
Yeah.
But do you know what? I think that's the calibre of opposition. That's what. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's a good.
We've watched Northampton and Cheltenham and all this. It's quite nice to play someone quite big. Obviously, I had to say the whole name quickly.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the songs that we create. So it should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, we don't lose 5-0 like we did in Austria. But who knows?
I watched the video of that game the other night. Oh my God! It still makes you run cold. Because we had this kind of build-up, didn't we? And then we went out there and played a second division German team, and they wiped the floor with us. That was done and dusted, and it served its purpose. By the time we played the next one against Solihull, we signed about 6 players by then.
Yeah. I haven't mentioned obviously Trevor's game against Nottingham Forest on the 2nd of August as well. Obviously the unveiling of the statue as well. So that'll be a very special day for us all as well, won't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I do think this should be the last. We played Rangers, we played Forest. There isn't really anybody else that would. We'll never get a game against Man City because they're always busy that time of year. I think the statue is the final thank you, if you like, honour, and
I think
I don't see the point of doing it any longer, to be honest.
No.
Personally, though, I would have waited for the statue for the new stadium and then named a stand after him with his statue instead of doing it now and then 5 years later trying to move everything.
On
the grand scheme of things, I imagine it's pretty easy to move a statue.
I think people wanted it earlier and done, don't they? And then it can be something instead of waiting another 5 years.
Yeah, for sure.
it'd be nice. it'd be nice to have decent pre-season opposition, every year now. The bar's raised a little bit. It'd be nice to see the likes of, top Spanish sides playing us at, every season.
Yeah. And Norwich play is going to be a decent one as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Deep.
How about the event they're having for Robe with the memorabilia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
The road traders event.
He's getting
Road
starring, apparently.
The road traders event, yeah.
And a golden urinal for Alan in the main stand. That's on my wish list.
Now you're talking, kidder. Now you're talking.
They said when they knock the stand down, Alan, you can take one of them toilets home, they said.
There is no toilet. There's just
I'm in the garden.
It's a trough.
A hole in the wall.
It is a trough.
I'm in the garden.
No.
You keep peeing in a trough, though. You're going to pee in a trough in the new ground as well, Just be shinier.
Alan, if there's a hole in the wall in your toilet block, you're in the wrong place, mate. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on.
We do need to say that is
on
on
the
20th.
Trevor Francis. Go on, Claire.
That's on the 20th of July. Try and get down there. There's going to be some really good things that supporters have got and the club have got as well. So if you do have anything, then if you go onto the website, then you can get in contact. And I'm sure the amount of fans that we've got, the different ages and everything, I'm sure that there'll be different pieces of memorabilia. And it'll be quite nice, actually. I don't know how it's going to look. But obviously, Robe, they'll probably make sure there's a policeman next to you or something in case you nick anything.
I was going to say I'm gonna order a nice high vis jacket and
Security guard.
Let's go around the room a minute. I want to know what's everyone's most prestigious piece of Blues memorabilia. If you was to go to this event, what would you take and why? Start with you, Craig.
I'll
say this.
I've got signed.
I'll say this at the risk of Robe obviously knocking on your front door in half an hour.
I've got signed Steve Bruce shirt, which is quite smart because he signed it as I was leaving the ground and actually when he was leaving to go on to be manager. So that was a nice thing to have. And I've also got a signed Tebley shirt as well, which Tebley boots, sorry.
Oh yeah.
So that's quite smart. So they're probably my two.
Okay. Mark Meredith?
I've actually got a few signed shirts, obviously, from players in the past when working there. But I think for me, I've got the 140-year anniversary shirt signed by the whole squad. So that's probably the one for me.
Yeah. Alan?
Well, mine is my father's contract signed in 1943. Remember the famous secretary, Mr. Richards? His signature's on it.
Wow.
And the amount he was paid is on there, and it's in mint condition. It was kept in an envelope for years, and I keep it between us. Some photographic albums, and I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, my father's not famous. He's, if it was Bertie Ald's contract or something like that, it'd be worth a lot of money. But I don't know. But I might use this event to find out. Shall we put it that way?
Yeah.
Face. I've never seen Rob smile so much in my whole life.
Yeah, this is
on dry.
How long have you been on here now, Rob? About 4 years.
Hey,
Just as long as he doesn't know where you live, you're fine. You're safe.
5 years now, Paul.
Is it 5 years now? Wow. Well, you've been waiting for this conversation for 5 years.
I know. I'm like Fagin in Oliver Twist.
Claire, what's yours?
I'm going to burgle everybody's house tonight.
I've got a few signed shirts and things like that. I've got from my first ever game and things. I've also randomly I found this little teddy with the old auto windscreen top on, which is really old. You can tell it's old and stuff. And yeah, I've got loads of programs. I used to be a serial program collector.
Yeah.
Then I had to stop.
Have you got a signed mug as well, Claire? It's quite a smart mug.
I've got one that I actually just normally drink out of because I got it done twice. So I've got one that I can drink out of and one that's signed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he leaves, then there will be tears. There'll be more tears than leaving St Andrews, but we won't talk about that.
I don't know if Chris has fainted or if he's turned the camera around to his
No,
memorabilia.
I've just put the other camera on that. I've got probably my signed photograph, Trevor Francis. I think that one next to my Paul Tate one. That's probably one of my favourites. Yeah. And my beer stained Carling Cup scarf.
Fantastic. Yeah. I think for me, mine would probably have to be my Carling Cup final programme signed by Roger Johnson and Stephen Carr. And also my signed Stephen Carr picture as well, obviously with him lifting the trophy, and my Robbo shirt on the wall behind me there as well, that's signed and framed as well, from when we played Bournemouth in the League Cup. Got a photo of him shaking hands with Jermaine Defoe on the one side of the frame, and then on the other side of the frame he's shaking hands with me. So yeah.
We had a piece of brick from the cop from the last day. I wouldn't even know where to find it now, but when we were leaving on that 94 we talked about, there was people chipping away at the concrete. So
maybe your son might be trying to eat it, mate.
Seriously, probably starving in there. You told him it was only going to be an hour today. We've already been an hour and 5. He's fuming. He's texting me.
Rob, what's yours? Have I asked you? I don't know.
Mine's probably the blueprints everyone's security setups. I've got quite a few signed shirts over the years. The usual programs, all the Wembley programs, tickets. The last game of the Cup, I got John Frayne to sign it. To be honest, there's one shirt which I've got, which is Doyle's. When we got promoted at Reading, and Colin Dorr sent me his goalie top because I'd not long had a big heart operation. So Doyle sent me his goalie's top, and Barnaby sent me his shorts.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So I got Barnaby's shorts, Doyle's top, and as I was in the queue, just after my operation, they sent me. The whole squad sent me a signed shirt, which is nice.
A bit of memorabilia, wouldn't you, mate?
Yeah, I know. But it's funny, these fabricated stories over the years. They're always consistent.
So that's going back about 20. That's going back about 20 years, isn't it? Now,
2009. To be fair, but I had my operation. My brother was seeing a girl at the time who worked at the hotel where Robin Shroot and Scott Sinclair had a room. And he got chatted to him and said, "Oh, my brother's just had a massive operation," so they sorted me out with still loads of stuff. So
that's good.
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Yeah,
good stuff. Excellent. Okay, so is that enough for tonight then, for the summer special? Do we think, or is there any other subjects?
No, that's fine. That's better. Just before we go, I've also got a ball that's been signed, right? And if somebody wants it, they can have it. It's the signatures are quite difficult to decipher.
Yeah,
if anybody wants it, they can have it.
Rob, I'm amazed you haven't shouted first.
There you go, Rob. You can have that. Next time you come up, you can have that.
Oh yeah, thanks. What year was it from?
Premier League. We're selling them.
Yeah, it's Premier. If you can decipher.
Early in the Prem. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah, I'll have that. Thank you very much.
There you
Just
go.
very quickly, actually, sorry, just very quickly for a couple of
He'll
minutes.
give you 20 quid for it.
No. Here we go.
Just for a couple more minutes, actually. We got any good comments on the shout boxes, Chris, at all?
Going back to memorabilia, yeah, I had a signed shirt, Noel Blake, Mick Harford, Ron Saunders era. My young daughter put it in the washing basket, and I didn't notice, and all the signatures washed off.
Oh,
my life, that would be dead.
Can I just say as well, something that many people may or may not have seen during the closed window, but there was a news article when somebody I thought was taking the mick about a bull that had got run and was running free in Small Heath. And I don't know whether people saw it on the news.
Yeah.
Well, I can say the bull has not only been rescued, but has been named Liam, and he's now living in Norfolk, and he's actually being sponsored by the Norfolk Official Supporters Club of Blues, and has been adopted as their official mascot. So we found out that's happening, but for those, it's going to be on the news and everything tomorrow. It's on WM tomorrow morning. They're doing an interview with the lad from up in Norfolk. But it's a charity farm where it's living, so if people want to support, they can do, and I will post the link. But I just think it's brilliant that the bull that resonates, is centre of Birmingham, the Bull Ring, and the official fan club of Save Day Bull. So it's a great story, really, considering what was going to happen to it and where it is now. So well done to all of the guys at Norfolk. Official Supporters Club is a great story.
Is it named after Liam Dace or Liam Ridgewell or Liam Gallagher?
That part, I don't know, but they are watching, so perhaps they will give us a message before we drop off in regards to who it's actually named after. But all I know is that it was very swiftly done, and like I say, it was great to hear on Wednesday, but also now for it to be making local and national press. So it's getting yet more airtime for the club.
Can I just quickly say thank you to everybody who sponsored me doing the Sutton Fun Run.
Yes, well done.
I raised over £600 for the Blues Foundation.
Well done.
I managed to do it in an hour and a half. Actually did finish it. Actually did okay. Could walk afterwards as well. So just a massive thank you, because I know that there's been a few people who watched the show who sponsored me. So much appreciated.
Brilliant, well done, Claire. And it's named after Liam Dace.
It's named after Liam Dace.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I think that's quite fitting, isn't it, really? Dace, Dace was weren't to be messed with at all, was he? Wow. What a player he was.
And him and Claire at the back. Him and Claire at the back will be a decent centre-back pairing, wouldn't they?
You just imagine trying to get in a bar with them as doorman. You're just not getting in.
I think we're there now, Paul.
Okay, so that has been the summer special of the Tilton Talk Show. Obviously, we'll look forward to seeing you all again in the new season. We're sponsored by AMG Logistics, and it's obviously I've been Paul Hipkiss. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Mark Meredith.
Thanks all. Great to see everybody again. Good night from me, and it's a good night from Craig Courtney.
And thanks all for joining halfway through. Season is nearly upon us. Please watch out. We are going to be running in the podcast competition for the Football Content Awards this year. So we are hoping for some nominations from our very own listeners. Watch out for a link and details that will be posted shortly. So thank you very much for joining. And in advance, thank you very much for the nominations. And I'm going to hand over to, the person that was still walking after running 10K. So over to you, Claire.
It's technically 13K. That's right. Okay. There you go, Craig. Thanks for watching. Safe travels to those who are also going to Portugal. Can't wait to see who we sign. Hopefully we'll sign someone this week, fingers crossed. And on to Rogue.
Yep, that's me. Enjoy your summers, everyone. It's been good chatting to everyone and hearing from everyone. Just enjoy what's left of the summer. Look forward to this new season. And look forward to what's to come. Oh, and enjoy the documentary that's coming out as well.
Of course, yes.
That'll be good.
Does anybody know when that is?
A few weeks now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Soon.
Rob, you do this every time, man.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry,
yeah. Right now, haven't you, Rob? Come on.
I'm going to pass over to Alan. Take it away, Alan. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. And, we're looking for it. We're at the height of the cricket season now, but it's just out there, isn't it? It's like waiting for Christmas. And let's hope we don't sign any turkeys. Okay, God bless you all.
And it's a good night from me. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Meredith, go feed your son.
Somebody send me some money on Zelle or PayPal, please. It's a long summer.
Did anybody find my 20 quid anyway?
I'm still debating what to spend that on, to be fair.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a ball.
It's Monopoly money. You can buy a hotel.
Yeah. Don't get to one of them hotels with a hole in the wall, though.
No, that's a third of the cost of the home shirt, isn't it?
What, a hole in the wall?
Yeah.
And Mark, if you had a haircut, is it just falling out?
Which Mark?
I got a hat on.
You?
It's just
Meredith.
his ears lowered.
I remember picking him out in the crowd when I saw his bald spot at the back.
Who are we on about?
I mean, mate,
Picked him out from a, I picked him out from a crowd as well.
That day outside St Andrews, when all the hierarchy were coming in, you were standing out there, and I was looking at. Also, there's Mark, and you got your back to me, and I saw this
Off with Adam, yeah.
big white splodge.
Yeah.
I picked him out from a lineup as well, but that was at the police station.
You definitely asked for the fake Courtney haircut when you went to the barbers this time, Mark.
Well, it's
That's my look.
Okay.
No, the strands are falling, but I'm still here.
you'll have a skinhead robe.
Yeah, I probably will at some point, to be fair.
Do it for the new season.
That's what the man in Cell 32 said, wasn't it?
No, the 30s